Hello guys and welcome to a new news video. First thing we're going to talk about today is the fact that Zekrom is now in raids. Furthermore, because today is Wednesday, there's also immediately a raid hour from 6 to 7 p.m. So you can use that time because mostly when a new raid boss is just released, then the community wants to do the raids. So from 6 to 7 you have an opportunity to do many raids and there's a lot of interest to do raids. So it's a good time to try and get a good CP Zekrom. You can go to this Go Up article here. So it's a dragon in electric type. Now as an electric type, it was stated before that it is 14% better than Raikou and Electivire, making it the best electric type Pokemon in Pokemon Go. And as a dragon type attacker, it is also very strong, as we can see here, being one of the best dragon type attackers with the moveset of Dragon Breath and Outrage, which is a good dragon type moveset. Only Dragon Tail would maybe be slightly better than Dragon Breath, but other than that it's pretty much the perfect dragon moveset. We can see here the recommendation for Pokemon Go Up to use 3 to 5 high players or 6 to 10 low players. So it's not that difficult to defeat. We can see that the CPs, they are actually precisely the same as the one for Reshiram. So it has the same stats as Reshiram. It will also be 2307 for 100% in non-weather boosted weather and 2884 for weather boosted weather for the 100%. It is a different type though, which means that it has slightly different weaknesses. It's weak to Dragon, Fairy, Ground and Ice. The best counters are said to be Rayquaza and Salamence. And then other dragon type attackers are doing very well too. If you want to try something else, then you could go for a Mamoswine or for a Gardevoir. And they are putting Excadrill for the ground moveset, but if you put something like Rhyperior with the ground moveset, then that surely will do a nice job as well. Here we see it a little bit more easily. So we can see the fast moves are Dragon Breath and Charge Beam, and the charge moves are Wild Charge, Outrage, Flash Cannon and Crunch. So we got Charge, Beam and Wild Charge for the electric moveset and Dragon Breath and Outrage for the dragon moveset. Alright, so we're going to go to the next subject now. It has something to do with Galarian linoone. Now apparently, yesterday during the Spotlight Hour, there was a glitch that allowed the Galarian linoone to learn moves that normally only the normal linoone would learn. And as a result, people are now able to get Grass Knot, for example. Let's see what PvPoker is saying here. I'm reading reports that this is available during Spotlight Hour. Attention West Coasters, and see if you can TM a Galarian linoone during the Spotlight Hour. Well, obviously that time is past now. Apparently it was possible for a brief time today. Who out here got hold of an exclusive Shadowclaw Grass Knot Galarian linoone? So the thing is that apparently this is actually quite a good moveset, as PvPoker is saying here. This moveset is spammy and extremely well suited for the Great League meta. So the people who were able to notice this glitch in time and TM their linoone to get, I believe, Snarl, Body Slam and Grass Knot, they could use that in the next time the Great League comes back. And well, obviously PvPoker is saying to Niantic help if they could consider letting all of us making use of these moves, because now only a few people are benefiting, which is unfortunate. So that's something that has been going on. And then if we go here to support, there's always a lot of things in here. Let's see, where shall we start? Trainers were looking into the recently reported odd behavior in gyms, Pokemon appearing incorrectly, incorrect defender time. We apologize for the inconvenience. Yeah, so there were pictures of Pokemon that were in gyms for like a ridiculous high amount of time, which was incorrect. But right now they're already saying, trainers, these issues have been resolved. So we will keep an eye out for these reports. We apologize again for the inconvenience. So this is basically just telling you guys that there's so many glitches going on. Yesterday during Spotlight Hour there was a glitch that allowed certain moves that wasn't supposed to be. And now there's a glitch in the gyms. And meanwhile the Pokemon Go Battle League is still down and people playing on iOS devices are still being punished without reason. As an update to our investigation into trainer erroneously receiving punishments, we are continuing to investigate these reports and removing punishments and strike counts where appropriate. Thank you for your patience. So the question is, when do they realize it's appropriate to remove the strike count? Can they see this clearly? It sounds good that at least they're trying to help people, but it is just a message and we don't know if the action is really happening. We're investigating reports that some players are being incorrectly flagged by our system and receiving punishments on their accounts. We will share an update as soon as we are able. So hopefully they put some haste into that and are able to resolve these problems. Oh yeah, for this is actually okay. So besides Snarl, it can learn Shadow Claw as well. So this is the moves that the people were getting: Shadow Claw, Grass Knot, and Body Slam. What else do we have? Oh yeah, something that I forgot to mention yesterday, which is this last bit of the, because I went through the local business thing yesterday, but I forgot to mention this thing here, which is actually really important. Over the last few months, we've made several updates to Pokemon Go to adapt to its individual settings. Here's a look at how these changes will be maintained for the foreseeable future. The distance at which you can spin photo discs at gyms and Pokestops will remain increased. Gift storage and the number of gifts you can open per day will remain increased. Remote raid passes will remain available. And the walking requirements to unlock sets of battles in the Go Battle League will return eventually. Don't forget, Pokemon Go Fest is fully virtual. Yes, okay. So they are saying here that for the foreseeable future, which sounds to me as a very long time, the extra distance for gyms and Pokestops is going to remain. So we know that they doubled the rate at which you can spin a Pokestop or a gym for the moment that the coronavirus was developing. And that was meant to be a temporary thing, right? It was meant to be temporarily, and after the corona crisis is going to finally end, it would go back to normal. But now they are saying that they are going to remain at this increased distance, which is fantastic. Also, what they are saying here is the walking requirement to unlock sets of battles in the Go Battle League will return eventually. So that tells me another thing, is that they are already saying that eventually these changes will go back, but they are not saying that for the photo discs and the gyms. They will say they will remain increased. So I really feel that they are going to be increased either forever or until some major update. And the same is for the gift storage and the number of gifts you can open. So we know that the gift storage, you could hold 10 gifts normally. But now during this crisis you can hold 20 gifts. It's going to remain 20 gifts, so that's great. You can open 30 at the moment. It used to be 20, but it's going to remain at 30 from now on. Fantastic. Remote raid passes will remain available. I think that was always the plan, wasn't it? I think the only difference that they were going to make after the crisis is that there was going to be a decrease in your effectiveness of battling against a raid boss. So now you are doing normal damage, but later, after the crisis, you were going to do less damage for using remote passes. I think that was always the plan, but still it's nice to know for certain. And the walking requirements to unlock sets of Go Battle Leagues will return eventually. Okay, so that's unfortunate. I think many people were completely fine with the fact that you could just do the battles without having to walk. And I think it's better as well, honestly. I don't see why they would want to return this. I think the Go Battle League community has really risen up, has really increased drastically, you might say. There are so many PvP Go Battle League streamers, Twitchers, who are all doing a fantastic job and their channels are growing. So I think if they put this through, then it's going to make it tougher for the PvP community to stream, because then they have to do 5 battles and they're going to be like, well, wait guys, I'm going to have to walk 3 kilometers now. I think it's really unfortunate. So one tip that I heard from somebody, which I think was a great tip, is that the least they can do is to stack the kilometers. So if you have walked, let's say you went on a big ride and you made 15 kilometers, then if you just stack those kilometers, then you can do immediately 5 sets in a row, because 5 times 3 kilometers is 15. While if you only allow 3 at a time, then you have to go out for 3 kilometers, and then you have to go back, and then you have to do a stream, and you have to go out there again, and go back and go out there. And that just doesn't work as well. So that is the least they can do when they're going to make this return, is to at least let it stack. Alright, that's all I have to say about that. The last thing I want to quickly mention is the fact that there's some Pokemon news coming out. Not Pokemon Go news, but Pokemon news. As you can see here from the official Pokemon channel, 3 hours from now there's going to be news. They call it presents. So I'm not sure what it's going to be, but if you're interested in it, then you can watch it. And if it is something that could eventually influence Pokemon Go as well, I will make some extra content about that. That's all for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.